Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
I'm doing good.
And we also have joining us with us Seth Geis. How you doing, Seth?
Doing well, man. Thanks for being here.
No problem. So today we are talking about the Davidoff The Master Selection 2010. This cigar is a Toro 6x52, comes out of the Davidoff factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Dominican. The binder is Mexican Negro San Andres. The filler is 10-year-old Dominican Piloto Ligero, San Vicente Ligero, and San Vicente Visus, and Nicaraguan Semilla Seco, and Esteli Visus. Getting through all these odd tobacco names that I'm not the guy to be describing, so that's pretty good. Blended by Eladio Diaz. Price point is $35, and the cigar was released in August of 2017. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your pre-light experience like?
Yeah, I mean, the cigar has it's got a nice chocolatey brown colored wrapper. I found mine were pretty oily throughout. Decent sized veins, probably around medium overall. The caps weren't applied that great. I mean, they weren't like bad, but it's like kind of made me think of Padrones the way they're just kind of like slap right on there. There is some tooth present, but there's really no soft spots throughout. I found that the wrapper was giving off just a lot of like chocolate, rich earth, some charred wood notes. And the foot was pretty similar, with some raisins, stone fruit, a little bit of red pepper. It wasn't bad. It was a nice appearance, nice aromas.
Yeah. All right, Jiunn, so take us through the flavor profile.
First third, really tasty. I mean, you have, that classic Davidoff profile that starts with a nice hay grassy backing. Also had coffee beans. It was a really nice palate coating, kind of a white pepper coming through. Inchin, a little bit of a sweet bread note coming through. Anytime I taste like a really sweet bready kind of a note in a cigar, I instantly like it, which is probably one of the reasons why I love like Aganorsa tobacco so much. So virtually fuller flavors of that creamy red, white pepper, really rich roasted nuttiness. Finish is pretty clean. Lasting notes of layered white pepper and dried nuts. Strength of body, medium within the first third. Moving on to the second third, I thought that the flavor started to pick up more intensities. So just like a fuller and more distinct notes of that same stuff, right? Like the creamy bread, the roasty nuttiness, white pepper, hay, coffee beans. Going through the retro, it's just more intensified version of those things. And then the finish still, really clean, which is really noteworthy because most, non-Cuban tobacco is not that clean. It's actually kind of weighs in a little heavy on the palate, but not this cigar. Strength moving towards medium full, and body stays at the medium mark. Going to the final third, I thought that I started tasting like a gradual increase in like the rawness of tobacco, especially as the cigar progressed. The core flavors are still there, but there's definitely a hint of harshness that can easily take over. That does easily take over at times. But overall, within the last third, it wasn't so harsh that I wasn't able to taste the other notes, and it was still enjoyable.
All right, Seth, take us through your favorite profile.
Yeah, mine's like so different than
That's why
yours, Jiunn.
Right, so back to back, one end of the spectrum to the other.
Man, I got a lot of black pepper from the get-go, black pepper, and then it starts with some rustic earth, some mineral and dry wood notes. There's a bit of faint cocoa powder and some nuttiness with this red pepper in the first third, and mine was just like medium full to full. I mean, I haven't smoked that much. This was boom right there. And when I got into the second third, there was a little bit of transitioning. I thought it was showing a little bit more woody notes, a few black pepper qualities, and it just had this cocoa powder with some, as I said, earthy notes from before. It's a little bit creamier in this third. I think it dials back some, but it's still medium full to full, I think, in all areas. And then when I get into the final third, I find it really dials back. And it becomes more cedary and woody, with a little bit of that cocoa-ness and nuttiness from before, and it's just creamy, smooth, medium full, in those areas. So I mean, it's just maybe I was smoking something else, man.
So for me, I got like a cinnamon, wood, and mustiness note, and kind of as the third was progressing, the cinnamon kind of gradually decreased along the way, but that musty woodiness was very full in the flavor at times, and I got a pretty full spicy cedar on the retrohale, and then strength level was kind of a little above medium, and then getting into the second third, the mustiness kind of ramped up again, got a little bit of spice to it. Was getting a little bit of slightly spicy cedar and mustiness kind of continuing on through. Profile was a little bit drying at times. Retrohale was kind of that same mix of spicy cedar and mustiness. A little bit further in, I got a little bit of creaminess and pepper that joined in with that cedar and the mustiness notes. And then a little bit of mintiness kind of as the third was coming to a close. And strength stayed at slightly above medium the whole way. And then the final third, that mintiness ramped up a little bit. And cedar mustiness still in the background, and that mintiness kind of faded away as the cigar was going along, and that mustiness kind of came back up front. And that's pretty much how the cigar finished out for me. Some traditional Davidoff mustiness that I get, but I think kind of right in the middle of where the two of you guys were at. So getting construction, Jiunn, burn and draw, what was your experience like?
I thought it was both really good. Burn performance, I rated it very good, which is right below a perfect score. Inch and a half ash retention, sharp burn line, cool burn. The only downside of it was I thought this ash was a little flaky at times. Draw, I rated it perfect. I cut it right within the ring gauge of the cigar. Still had plenty of cap space, and it was ideal draw.
How about you, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the draw was great from beginning to end. It produced a lot of smoke. It was, I mean, I liked it a little bit snugger, but other than that, it was pretty solid. Good construction. It burnt well. As Jiunn said, the ash was really flaky, and my ash was really dark. I know when people talk about Cuban cigars having really dark ash, and this really touched on that. It smoked well. It was cool, burned well, but the ash was just really flaky.
Yeah, burn for me was pretty good. There's slight waviness. I didn't notice enough of the flakiness to, I guess, maybe mention it, and it didn't seem out of place for me. Ash held on inch and a half increments. In regards to the draw, it was just slightly tighter than I prefer, but it wasn't anything that was, a detriment to the cigar. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar, Jiunn?
I liked it. This so far within a year is the best rated cigar that I gave it by a long shot, actually. So with the new stuff that came out this year. So,
right.
Very nice building complexities, also building strength, right? So this isn't your perhaps the old school Davidoff where it was just one note hay grass kind of a wander, which one of the reasons why within the earlier Davidoffs, earlier non-Cuban Davidoffs that I didn't really care for. So fullness of flavors at the same time, balance of flavors as well. It was really good. I think there's quite a bit of aging potential as well, given the harshness that I had within the last third. But I really enjoyed it. I look forward to smoking the other ones.
What were your thoughts, Seth?
Yeah, I've already smoked the 2013, which I thought was great. But I when I compare the two, this one doesn't live anywhere near up to that. I wasn't overly impressed by the cigar. I do think that it will age better. At least I hope it ages out. But it just didn't deliver a lot of complexity and flavors that I was looking for. As Jiunn said, it is a little bit. It's not your typical Davidoff. It's those old school Davidoffs. It's stronger, so it almost has those Davidoff white bands while smoking more like the Yamasan and probably more the Yamasan, not the Nicaragua. So it's stronger, more full, just not as complex in terms of the flavor department.
Yeah, I was interested to smoke the cigar kind of based on its status. It's got a fairly high price point on it, being really touted this year. I got some of those, kind of set that signature mustiness that I get from a lot of Davidoffs, but like you were saying, it's definitely not a traditional white label. It's much fuller in regards to the wood notes and things like that. Wrapper is much darker than a lot of the previous cigars. flavors were good. They were very full at times. It wasn't anything, groundbreaking or anything like that. But I think it definitely was enjoyable experience. My cigar smoked pretty slow, so you get a fair amount of smoking time from a Toro. But with all the different years that they're offering, this was enough at least to kind of get my attention to say, all right, I'm interested in checking out these other years to see kind of what the differences are between them. I don't know, Seth, maybe you got spoiled. Maybe you got the best year, first one out the gate, and then everything else is going to pale in comparison.
I sure hope not. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's
so getting into this,
and it'll be interesting to see how the other ones smoke.
Yeah. So getting into the scores, Jiunn, you were the top score with an 8.13. I was in the middle at 6.92, and Seth was at the bottom at 5.85. So Jiunn, how do you think that matches up with your experience? You already kind of talked about how high the scoring was.
It matches really well. I mean, this was a treat. Like cigars that are, has good flavor, full flavor, that's transitioning and has buildups. I mean, that's the epitome of a good cigar for me. And this one is, hits that really well.
How about you, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it delivered kind of exactly how I thought it would. I wasn't that blown away by it. I think, I hate saying it, but when you take the price tag into account of it, it's just like I can't justify it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, the cigar was good. It was a good cigar. It wasn't like a great cigar, and it wasn't, it was definitely much better than an average cigar. So it's kind of right in that middle ground of a lot of the cigars that I've smoked this year. But like you said, the price point is definitely a factor when if you look into even if wanting to try one, that even makes it a tough selection if you're even going to just want to try to pick one up. You might want to just wait until people smoke through all the different years, and then you can get your feel of which one you think is going to be the best one and try that one if you're going to drop down $35 for the cigar. So any other thoughts from you guys to wrap it up?
They should put them in a sampler box.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually.
I mean, it'd be super expensive, but at least you smoke through them, and then you're like, okay, I did the sampler box. Now put them in fancy tubes. I mean, I'm not going to market it for them.
Who is it? Are there's 6 of them or 8 of them?
I think there's 6 right now.
Okay.
But like 3 are going to flagship stores, and 3 are going to the Davidoff stores, and like the 2013 is only available in the United States and Switzerland. It's pretty darn complicated how this. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, but like you can't just get them or anything like that. So It's like, I know
sure if you had the money to buy a sampler pack, you could just get them, right?
Oh, exactly. I mean, my retailer has the 13s, I think the 10s too, and I can't remember what the other one is. But yeah, it's just.
There you go.
I don't know. But then again, they just fired their CEO and all the other stuff, so obviously things aren't going too great for them.
Yeah. It's something to ask for Christmas, I guess, sampler pack. So.
Sampler pack.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, Jiunn?
Maybe throw in a free SD DuPont,
Yeah. One of those travel cases, right? The big the big trunk.
Yeah. Some Davidoff matches.
There you go. All right. Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.